Yes, indeed.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are on day 4 or 5, I can't remember now, but it's somewhere in there, of the results from the biggest daily winners. And I've done a little bit more to the graph. And there's also a few outliers, a few things that I'm not sure how to handle. One being a massive news story. So PVG lost over 11% today, and it was because of a massive news story. So I don't know if that makes it invalid, because what we're really looking for is trends minus news. So clearly this is a big news story or a new update or a big move. And then we're looking for trends going forward, but no like major fluctuations that would make something change that much. So that'd be like a big event, big news story, and they had a big third quarter loss, blah blah blah. Just looking up the news on this just says I don't know, they were terrible. Basically they didn't mine as much as they thought they were going to. So anyway, long story short on that one, I'm not really sure. So this guy up 6% and then a 3% loss, 11% loss. So, but this is sort of, kind of exception to the rule. It's an outlier of anything else. You can see this happens once, but the same stock, this is sort of the second thing that I'm struggling trying to figure out how to deal with, is when the same stock comes again. So you have, for instance, weed here, or sorry, it's by example, APH here, and then 3 days later, APH is again. So it had 2 days in a row. So it's sort of double counting. It made almost 6%, 3 days ago. I guess it's longer than that now because we're on to the 9th. This should actually say October the 9th. And then it made the chart again. So I think for these outliers, I might just remove them. Anything that has another story, whether it be super positive, super negative, remove them from the charts, because it's really not what I'm looking to do. I'm looking more to see after a big news story or a big event or a big situation, assuming that not much happens days following, what does the stock do? So that's sort of where I'm looking. But we do have another day. So you can see we now have the day of, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 days after for these main stocks. And then these ones obviously we have 3 days off after and 2 days after, and so on and so forth. And a little bit of a trend. This is weird. Today, a pretty big losing day for the 4th day after. And if you compare the close to a week ago, for just about all these stocks, they're all down. Like this one closed after going up 21%. Closed at 8.05. It's now down 10 cents from that time. 25.82, 24.36, down almost $1 from that time. 32.51, 33. So this one is up $1. 10.38, 9.39, down almost $1. 45.96, 43, down a couple bucks, and 14.99 to 14.65 down. So a week after a big positive move for these guys, we're looking at an overall loss after 4 days. 1, 2, 3, 4 days. So interesting. Not making any decisions now. I've also added this, which is just sort of a daily win and loss chart for each day as we go. And again, not enough data to determine. I mean, it's starting to be a trend that it's pretty unlikely for a stock to have consecutive massive days. So once there's sort of the big winners of the day on any particular day, it's pretty unlikely for them to have another winning day. You can see here, only 3 out of 16 stocks have done that. And then the day after the pullback, we're noticing, 60% of stocks, 9 wins, 6 losses the day after, 9 wins, 3 losses the day after, but again, less data. And then this one is 1 win, 5 loss. So not too much to be determined at this point, but it's interesting. So I can now sort of start continuing this process and see if we can come to any conclusions. I still like the idea of potentially getting in near the close of the day after a big gain, because you can see with a lot of these, again, 9 and 6 and 9 and 3 for the 2 days after that situation so far seems reasonably good. You know, collectively that's 18 and 8. Sorry, 18 and 9. So that looked good. If I could get in a stock that had a 2/3 chance of going up, I'd be pretty happy. But again, this is a fairly significant loss the day after, so I need more data. I need to move some numbers around. I need some more information before I can start making any predictions. And again, I'm not sure about these stocks that continue. If they have multiple days in between, you know, they have a big day, a couple days later they have another big day, is that going to change my chart? You know, but if I pull this one outlier PVG out of the system, you know, that's a pretty significant loss here, 11%, and it's showing up twice. So that'd be 2 losers. So that would be more like, you know, 9 and 5 on this one. This would be 2 and 5. So again, I'm not doing that officially yet, but I think I might, because I think it makes more sense to me to remove anything that has additional news stories or additional things that'll move it days after the big move. So let's just continue to work this through and see where it leads us. Thanks for watching.
Yes, indeed.